doing it. Thanks for that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this next person almost needs no introduction, but I need to introduce her because you may not even know who's coming on next. But she is the matriarch of the show, the one and only Samantha Smith. Cool that jacket is.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, as always. All right, have fun, be nice to her.
That's right. Or I'll send you to your room. New Orleans! I was so excited to be back. It was a very long trip. I connect, all that stuff. And I was driving from the airport, and then suddenly I was like, I'm back. It's so great. Kind of forget. Are most people from around here? Yeah. Lucky dogs. This city just feels magic to me, always has. I've only been here a few times, but I would like to make it many, many more times. I wish there was more coffee. Is there coffee here? Is New Orleans a big coffee town? Because I went wandering from my hotel for like 5 blocks in each direction, and all I found was Starbucks. I was like, that can't be right. Well, yes, but that's actually a little bit of a walk from where I'm staying, and I do plan on going there. And here's the thing, I usually drink decaf. Cafe du Monde is like this. And then you have like 2 bites of a beignet, and you're like, there she goes. And oh, that is an ugly crash. I don't do so great with sugar, but when then you put that beignet in front of me, I'm like, and it's everywhere. And I can't stop.
A banana?
I don't even care. It's like a super tourist trap, right? Don't care. Do any locals go to Cafe du Monde? Oh, you do? Oh, great. Now I will go there every day. I figured, New Orleans knows how to party. So you would have to have coffee. So I'm happy to hear that maybe it was just I happened to be in the dead zone. So maybe we'll make a little stop on the way back. Is there any place else? One person here, raise your hand. Tell me your favorite coffee shop. Somebody, local. Tell me. PJ's?
Yeah.
I walked right by it today. I'm like, that looks like a chain.
Go there.
For God's sake. What is yours? Bittersweet confections? Everything about that sounds good. You make the cakes? Are some of them bittersweet? Best kind. Okay, I'll see you there. What's your name? Chrissy? Okay, I'm gonna ask for you and say, give me the goddamn bittersweet chocolate. Right now. And one for tomorrow. I'm trying to cool it a little. It was my birthday 2 weeks ago and I did nothing. I'm not a big sugar eater normally because of the crash. I couldn't stop. It was terrible. So I'm trying to wean myself, because it's addictive, right? The more you eat, the more you want. But I'm in New Orleans, I'm gonna have to have the bittersweet chocolate cake. Hi! Oh, is that Phoenix I see?
Yes. Ron.
I am overjoyed every time I see that. It just, thank you.
Do you prefer Sam or Samantha?
Don't matter.
No, okay. Hi, Sam.
Hi.
So
What's your name?
I'm Natalie.
Hi, Natalie.
Hi. So is it true that in 2015 he nearly won a baking competition?
No? I wish I had. I won the baking kit in my living room, maybe. Why do you ask? Just curious? Okay, all right, noted. We're gonna go over here now. Are there questions over here?
Hi.
One lone person?
Yeah, I guess.
You're very brave.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
I see nothing but a very live silhouette. What's your name?
I'm Saralina.
Serena?
Saralina.
Saralina?
Yes.
What a beautiful name. Are you local?
No, I'm not.
Because it sounds like a magical New Orleans name, kind of, doesn't it? Anyway, hi, what's your question?
It's really motherly. It's, if you could commit the perfect murder, how would you do it?
Well, you know, I've never given this any thought ever. Poison.
Like a poison ring, or like a poison knife, or poison...
Oh, I have a poison ring. It's in my bag. Hold on.
Oh!
Look at it later. I think it has to be a delayed poison,
There you go.
so that you're not at the scene of the crime. I have never done this. FBI. But yeah, I think, but a painless poison, because I'm not a sadist.
It's very arsenic and old lace.
Huh?
Arsenic and old lace style.
Yes.
It's an old play.
Isn't arsenic one of those ones that you build up slowly?
Yeah.
Because if you just do it all at once, it's not so painless.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I haven't done any research on that. Yeah, I think that you don't want to be near, and you don't want to get anything on you. Like,
You're right. I mean, in theory.
right. I mean, trace evidence and all that. Also because messy. Gross. And it would also have to depend on who, right?
Truth.
And why.
Yes.
What about you?
So I was in Arsenic and Old Lace once, which is about two old ladies who murder men that are like really sad about their lives and hate everything. So they put them out of their misery by putting arsenic in a combination of things in their tea. And then they buried them in their basement.
Oh yeah, that's a big mistake.
Well, they got away with it for a while, so it's
For a while being the key element there. No. Okay, all right. So I was on the right track. We just got to think of a new ending.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hi.
Is it true that in 2015 you were disqualified from the baking competition that you almost won for sabotaging a fellow competitor?
No. Is it true? I wouldn't do that, just like I would never poison somebody. I missed the middle part of the question. Was it true I was disqualified for what?
Sabotaging a fellow competitor?
But there was more before that.
Disqualified from the baking competition you almost won.
Got it. Right. No, of course not. Absolutely not. That would never happen. I would never cheat. I would never win at all costs. Because we all know I don't like crowns or tiaras, right? Did anyone see me from 2 weeks ago? Well, thank you. What? I decided last time that I'm going to need a bigger tiara. That one just wasn't obvious enough. Did the baking contest have a tiara as a prize? Probably. No comment. Hi.
Hi, I'm Paloma, and this is my sister Matilda. And
Hi, you guys.
we wanted to ask if you could be any other character in the show, which would you be and why?
Well, I always like to play a villain because it's fun. And I got to play a villain for a second, kind of as Mary, right? So there was an episode where I played a character named Eve. And I got to be so mean. It was so fun. And all powerful, but I wasn't using my powers for good, which was why it was fun. So I wish Eve had hung around a little bit, even if she had to wear a waitress costume the whole time, which was fun, actually. It was better than the nightgown. I get to relive, now I'm doing photos in the nightgown every convention and I get to relive it and I'm like, but I wear shoes. I don't know, I think the go-to is like Lucifer or Abaddon, but I literally cannot imagine anyone else playing those parts.
Right, yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Mark Pellegrino has taken Lucifer off the table forever. And even when other characters were playing Lucifer, they were playing it as playing Mark Pellegrino playing Lucifer, which was the best. Misha did a great job with that. And who could be Abaddon but Elena? I mean, seriously. So I don't know. Do you have any ideas? Is there somebody you'd like to see me play? See, what's it like to be put on the spot?
I don't know. Charlie?
I couldn't, there's no way. I mean, it would have been super fun, but who can beat Charlie Felicia? I mean, God, she's one of a kind, so. Yeah, I mean, any character. I'll play Dean. Mary's almost Dean anyway. You think about it and get back to me.
All right.
All right. Hi.
Hi. Is it true that in 2015 you sabotaged a competition, a competitor in a baking competition by bringing their gingerbread men to life?
That's very specific. I cannot confirm or deny, and that I may have had help, because every good sabotage has co-conspirators, and I would love to be magic, but sometimes you need to enlist the help of others, but no, I didn't do that. No. I didn't give the gingerbread man a little chocolate chip cookie machete. I didn't, give him what would be another weapon that's not explosive. A really fast car made out of marshmallows? Nope, didn't do any of those things. Nope. But thank you. It's just so weird. Everyone has the same, it's so strange. Hi.
Hi. My question is, what kind of family bonding do you think Sam, Dean, Mary, and John are doing up in heaven?
I think Winchesters are competitive by nature. Would you agree? And I think they don't really play by the rules. So it's just like a free-for-all in everything they do. Who can drive the fastest, because you're in heaven, so if you miss, I'm gonna get that ravine the next time. Shooting, throwing, probably really competitive games of Monopoly and Mousetrap. And I just picture them laughing a lot, because everything in their lives was so dark. They have a very dark sense of humor. So everything is funny. The fact that now they're all in heaven and everything's fine has to be hilarious. So competing and laughing. They're not so snuggly, so not a lot of warm fuzzies. They feel it, but they would never show it. They only show it when somebody's dying. They're gonna hug someone when they're bleeding out. And other than that, they're like, suck it up. No crying. No crying, Monty. So that's what I think.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi.
Hi.
No.
Is it true that after being kicked out of the baking competition, you took your army of gingerbread men and raided a corporate bakery?
I may have suggested to the gingerbread men that they could raid a bakery if they wanted. And I may have watched and given them prizes. maybe. They're not very strong, those little gingerbread men. You try to open the door and it's very sad. It was very sad and a little funny. But no, I did not. Poor little gingerbread men. Thank you for playing, though. This is very suspicious. Hi. Hi, what's your name?
Stormy.
Storm?
Stormy.
Stormy. Hi, Stormy.
Hi. My question is, what is your favorite and least favorite thing about your character on the show?
Well, I'm pretty fond of the fact that she came back to life. I love her confidence and skill, and confidence in her skill. She's fearless in everything she did. Not totally fearless. Winchesters have fear, they just do it anyway, right? Least favorite. She kept dying. Really spectacularly. Least favorite.
The nightgown.
That was more about her wardrobe. But yes. I mean, I have an attachment to the nightgown. It's like, it's very iconic. I just wish I didn't have to, I mean, I guess if you keep coming back, you have to come back in what you were wearing, right? That was unfortunate. Least favorite. I mean, I am not going to criticize her parenting. I'm not going to criticize how she handled certain things. Everybody makes mistakes. But I understand Mary, so I wish she hadn't chosen a blue car. You remember the blue car? She liked blue cars, 2 blue cars. What about you? Do you have a word? What's your least favorite? I won't take it personally, I promise.
My least favorite thing about Mary? Probably, honestly, how she just keeps dying. Like, I just want her to just stay there and be with the boys always.
See? She's just so clumsy when it comes to death. I mean, the first one was not really her fault, but she didn't know what was going on, right? She had amnesia. And there were several in the middle there. The ghost kept dying even, right? I don't know, it was a disaster. But the final one, over-parenting Jack, was probably a miscalculation. Got a little overconfident with the Nephilim. It's fine, I can totally punish this kid. Note to self. Do not discipline the strongest creature on the planet who has a 2-year-old temper. It doesn't go well. Yeah, I was very sad that she died again, but at least it was off camera. Didn't have to it was bad. She needs to avoid danger. She needs to be a little less reckless. Another solid Winchester trait. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, Sam.
Hi.
Is it true that you are still paying reparations to the 3rd grade class whose field trip was ruined when your bloodthirsty gingerbread army slaughtered every last Keebler elf?
Who knew gingerbread men were so bloodthirsty? That was, closing the door after the horses are already in the barn, something like that. Yes, I'm still paying reparations. It's taxing, and they want it all in sugar. So, because they're children, and they don't get the Keebler Elves' delicious things that they cook, it's a lot of sugar. Sugar's expensive. So, yes, that's what you haven't seen much of me. I've been toiling away, paying back kindergartners. I mean, no. I cannot confirm or deny that again, because I think there was an NDA from the Keebler Elves leprechaun lawyer. And if you see a gingerbread man in your pantry, run. A few got away. Those poor elves, they never saw it coming. They're not very good at self-defense. Even up in those trees. It's very sad. It's very sad. It's a dark period. We don't like to talk about it. Thank you for bringing it up. It's the goddamn gingerbread man. Pick up your feet. It's very spooky, dude. Well, I can't see if there's any more questions. Good night. Oh, there we go. Oh my goodness. Hi.
Hello. One of the best ever blooper behind the scenes bits that wasn't planned was you're standing there holding your back from the dead husband's hand. And the boys go to destroy the magic pearl, and it hits John squarely in the fine china. How did you ever come back and finish filming that incredibly emotional and sad scene?
Okay, that was hands down one of the funniest things that's ever happened to me in my life. Particularly because of the polarization of what was happening. So, I don't know what it was, and I don't really know why. There was just some sort of feeling that day on set. I mean, the whole episode, whenever all four of us were on set, which was only a couple days, we couldn't stop crying. Me in particular, but then when any of us see the other one crying, and we're not supposed to be crying the whole time, we couldn't stop. I mean, all of us were like, ugh, trying to stop, and my mascara's running, and my makeup artist is like, can you not? I'm like, I'm trying. Because your body kind of just gets going. So, anyway, we're all standing there, and then they said cut, and we're trying to start again, and we're all just crying. And so there were different marbles. Some were supposed to crush, and some were not. And I guess it got switched. So when Jared slammed down the bowl on the marble edge, it didn't crush. It shot out like a giant BB. And I'm holding Jeff's hand, and the boys are here, and he slams it down, and it's like that moment, right? Like he's gonna start disappearing. It's the climactic goodbye. And Jeff squeezes my hand so hard, and these two drop to the floor, and Jeff's just standing there like this, his hands here, squeezing my hand, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, is this part of the scene? So I'm just standing there, and finally, because if you watch it, like, I'm just standing there holding his hand because he's squeezing it really hard. And I'm holding on as long as I can because my husband's about to go away forever, right? And then they start laughing. And he lets go of my hand, and I start laughing because I don't know what's happening. And then I see the camera crew laughing, and I'm like, I have that moment of like, did I do something? I hope this wasn't me, because I don't know what I did. And then somebody says, did that hit you? And Jeff just like, and then I start laughing, and I start laughing harder because I'm watching Jensen roll around, and Jared's like collapsed, and Jeff is just trying to stay standing. And because we'd all been crying already, now we're just half crying. It was a disaster. I mean, we literally had to, like, It took a minute to get it back together. But it was actually really one of those kismet things, unfortunately, for Jeff. It helped us. Jeff less. But it reset where we were, because we were just in such a place of it felt like we had been together on the set for 15 years, or 13 years, or however many it was at that time. And yet, we had never all been on set together. And I'd only worked with Jeffrey in the pilot, and the boys had worked with him like in season 2. So it just was, and yet it felt like home, you know? When Jeff was wrapped, he finished before us, like a couple scenes, or like half a day. And he went and changed and came back and hung out on the set. He's like, I don't want to leave. I'm like, we don't want you to leave either. It just felt like, it felt like family. It felt like it was meant to be like that. So, again, as unfortunate as it was for poor Jeff, it actually helped us because it was just too much. The emotion was too much. The camera guy was crying, like Brad, our camera person, he's like, I can't see, because he was crying. Everyone was crying, everyone, the whole set. So, thank you, Jared, and Robin, our prop person, for putting that marble under the bowl. Thank you. It was terrible and amazing at the same time. Hi.
Hello. If you could choose to go on a hunt with anybody, who would you choose?
In real life?
On the show.
Oh. Well, I got to go on hunts with Sam and Dean and Bobby and Catch. I think Mary and Ketch actually were a good duo hunting, but he was cruel, and nobody else was. He had a little mean streak, which I found out at the wrong end of a taser. God's sake. I think my go-to answer is always Jody. She's badass and funny and really competent and just like cut and dry. She's like, nope. So yeah. I think that if Mary had survived, she and Jody would have been like best buds. I do. I think so. Mutual respect, common annoyances. I won't say what those are. You can guess. No, they don't listen to me either. So yeah, so Jody. Yeah, thank you. Hi everybody. Hi, we have more questions.
Hi. If you could give your younger self some advice, what would you tell yourself?
Younger Sam?
Younger self, you.
Not self-Mary, self-Sam.
Yes.
Okay. Worry less about what other people think. I think it's unrealistic to say, I don't care about what anybody else thinks. We're human. You're going to care. But care less. And really check in with yourself more about what is it you want? And is what you're doing now working towards that or against that? And what you want can change. But don't not act for what you want today in case what you want tomorrow is something different. And that can be broad strokes and that can be tiny strokes. That can be like, I really want to learn ballet. Sign up for a class, see if you like it. I really want to save more money. That's a long-term thing, or you know what I mean? I spend a lot of time worried. I have a little bit of an anxiety situation. So I would focus on one thing, usually something external that didn't matter, and then I would just think about it all the time, around and around and around. And when I learned to stop doing that, I was much happier. First of all, I don't know if anyone else here has anxiety. I didn't know I had anxiety until I was 27. I thought everybody thought that way. Everyone didn't count their steps? Really? Didn't count to 5 over and over? No? No? Just me? Okay. learning how to like breathe through it and stuff like that helps with that. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard, especially now. We live in this world, right, where everyone, like Instagram, is like the death of humanity. It's the worst, and I love it. But you have to care less. You have to care less, and you also have to, I have to remind myself. I see my friends, I see celebrities, I see everybody on there, and I'm like, there's a little bit of like, oh man, that's what they're doing? That's what they look like? That's what's happening in their life? And I'm like, yeah, that's probably this much of it, right? And so to care what those people think about my foibles seems unfair to me. So yeah. Also, eat the cookies, life is short. All the cookies. Or in my case, all the cheese. Especially the gooey ones. I just love it. In small amounts, because otherwise my stomach hurts. Hi.
Hi, Samantha. I'm Samantha.
Oh, hello.
My question is, if you didn't taunt Jack into killing you, what would you have done after Dean died? Would you keep hunting, or do you think you would have quit like Sam did?
Well, maybe if Mary had been alive, Dean wouldn't have died. Because that was like, was that just a normal hunt, or was that like sort of an apocalyptic? What was the deal with that hunt? So maybe she wouldn't have been there. But maybe she would have. And she, as they were leaving, she would have been like, bring your extra knife. No, there's no way that after one of her children died hunting, she would have doubled down and hunted more. And at the same time, been really excited if Sam got out. I think she would have disappeared, unfortunately. Sorry. I think she would have just maybe reappeared later and gone and met her grandkids, but I think she would have checked out and just gone hunting and removed herself from Sam's life for his own safety. That's so sad. I've never been asked that before, but I think that's my gut instinct. She would never, I mean, her son dies from hunting when she didn't want him to hunt in the first place, and then she's gonna quit? I don't think so. Do you think she would have quit? No. She would have gotten, what were they? Were they vampires or werewolves? What were they? Oh, yeah, they were toast. She would have gone gotten all those, she would have raided the British men of letters, whatever was left, stolen all their tools, and then dedicated her life to eradicating vampires. And I don't know how well it would have gone. she might not have lasted too long, but yeah, that's what she would have done. Typical Winchester happy story. Hi. Thank you.
Hi. Out of all of the episodes in the entire series, what was your favorite memory?
Wow. There's so many. It's hard for me to discern between what is in the episode and what happened behind the scenes, right? So my life, Sam's life, filming, and then watching the episode. So by memory, I think that you mean my experience, right?
Just whatever you think of the most whenever you think of Supernatural.
When I think about the show, I think about some of the cool stunts I got to do, and some of the really shooting and sliding across the floor and all the fighting. Like, I'd never hit anything other than my sister in my whole life. But when I think about the work, and I think about the show and my life as me living and working in Vancouver, I just have these sort of general visions of being on set and seeing, I literally have profound love for these people. Did it just get darker in here again? I need more coffee. And just the laughing and the practical jokes that would happen and the gratitude that they weren't happening to me. I have a very clear memory of something, I don't know why, but for some reason, 2 or 3 people gave Jared some duct tape, and he duct taped like a sumo diaper over his pants. And we were laughing so hard, we were crying, and the poor AD is just like, it's his job. It was Kevin, and it was his job to keep us on schedule, and there was just no chance of that. And I just, like, everyone knew each other so well, and there was such a shorthand, and we could work. We got more done. We had a hard out after 14 hours, right? Including lunchtime, all of that. Most shows worked way more than that and got way less done. Granted, they didn't have 15 years to practice. It was the same crew for most of that time. But it's the family, it's the love, it's the genuine affection and care for each other, and we knew where they lived and their families, and much like probably you guys with each other, right? And we know some of you, and you guys know us. Like, it's this crazy lightning in a bottle that I will carry with me always. Thank you. Very high expectations for whatever series I'm on next. They're gonna be like, what? Like, what? Come on, they're like, yeah, we don't do that. We don't do that. So, they took care of us, and we took care of them, and mostly they took care of us. But that's what my favorite memory is. It's a feeling, not a thought.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is, and I asked this of the guys, I'm asking you as well. If you could have dinner with any historical figure, living or dead, who would it be and why?
Maybe Catherine the Great. Because she was great. I would like to know, or like Hedy Lamarr. I mean, come on. Do you guys know Hedy Lamarr, the actress? Did you know she created essentially the internet? And the forbearing of the internet. Sorry, Al Gore. And also she's the one that she's the one that allowed them to break all the codes, the Nazi codes. Like, she was fucking like crazy town. I don't know that much about Catherine the Great. I just know that she was an amazing leader, and I don't know if it was good or bad, but she was strong, and I would like to have dinner with her so that I could find out what she was all about. And then Hedy Lamarr. And then Audrey Hepburn. Oh, yeah. I have a portrait of her in my house. Hey. Like, she just was a beacon of goodness, you know. I could take a lesson or two from her in how to bring good to the world. Everyone could. So, yeah. Oh, you're so sweet. I guess that was kind of a vow, wasn't it? It was supposed to be a dance with. Hello. I think we all need to stand up. 1 second, please. We need to like get our energy because I've just been talking. Okay, like the 7th inning stretch. Okay. All right. Woo-hoo! Spin around. Okay. Do you feel better?
Yes.
Okay, good. Hi.
Hello. My question is, if Mary was put on the spot and could only save one of her sons, who do you think she would choose?
You really just asked Sophie's choice.
Yes.
Whichever one of them had helped her with the dishes that morning. The other one was shit out of luck. Told you to put your dishes in the dishwasher. I mean, I think that's about as deep as the choice would go. It wouldn't be Jack.
Thank you.
He's still in the doghouse. Thank you. Hi, is there anyone left over there?
Hi, yeah. So, a lot of the flack that Mary gets as a character is from her lack of interaction with Sam and Dean after she came back, right? And that's always bothered me because she's had a pretty tough road coming back. And so then after she died, they tried to like humanize her with flashbacks. Was that as frustrating for you as it was for everybody else to watch?
Is that a warning? I actually didn't see it as frustrating, but I understand your point. To me, I was like, oh, they waited till she was dead, but they did show everyone the part that they were wanting to see this whole time. But bear in mind a couple things. One, Mary was not brought back to be a third wheel hunter and clean the bunker and make cookies and like mend the clothes and sharpen the machete. She was brought in to be conflict. And she was. It would have been super boring, super fast if she was like, you know, Susie Homemaker and we all know that she was a hunter, so of course she's gonna hunt, and she's not just gonna be like, I'm coming with you guys. She's like, I got shit to do. Go manage your business. Not like they listen to her anyway. They keep trying to like, you can't drive. No, you stay outside. She's like, so that wasn't gonna happen. The flashbacks to me felt like they could very easily have killed her without giving sort of, I felt like that episode was a gift to Mary. And hopefully the audience, some people found solace in it. They're like, oh, and rather than being frustrated, I hope that some people saw it as, oh, I wish I'd seen more of that. I wish we'd, and maybe that's where the frustration comes in, but I found those 3 scenes some of my favorites to do because Mary was suddenly more human. She was already flawed and human since she came back, but those 3 scenes showed weirdly like a softness, but also her strength. Like that scene with Castiel where she's like, I got it, you know. But at the same time, she's talking about the boys and talks to Cass about how much she appreciates him being there for them. And the scene with Jack, how there's patience and love with him being really bad at twirling a knife. Which is indicative of him just being a little bit out of sorts in general. And then the scene with Dean was just like literally, I was sleeping, but he was happy. And I thought that was showing such a deep, where the deep love is among the family. So yes, it would have, you know, it just is what it is. Mary had to be conflict and she had to go be with the British men of letters, and I understand why she did all those things. Would it have been nice to show a little more of that side of her? Yes, I'm not sure how they could have done it or when, but I think there were times. I think there were little snippets here and there of her loving her boys, clearly, without being like defiant hunter lady. I'm sorry if that was frustrating for you, but
no, I like the way you clarified it. 'Cause I wanted more of it.
Me too.
Maybe prior to death. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
Prior to her dying. That was
yes.
Great.
But I remember sitting. I was in the. I think I was in the producer's office, or did I talk to him? Was it email? I can't remember. But Bobo, the writer, was like, wrote a love letter to Mary in this episode, and he truly did. Like most, I was flattered because most characters do not get a send off like that. A whole episode of like flashbacks and a funeral and oh God, I saw it ahead of time when I was doing looping and stuff, and right as I was about to leave, they go, oh wait, we want to show you something. The editors are in there. And they're like, wait. And they were so excited. I was like, all right. And they showed the last scene, and they panned down to the table where they had carved the MW in the table. That wasn't in the script, and they didn't tell me. I burst into tears in the middle of the recording studio like a baby. I was like, oh my God, I mean, I was emotional anyway. This was my last looping. I was done with the show. I'd already like left. I hadn't been back to Vancouver in a couple months. So that was, I mean, in the end, they did what they could to make it right, you know? So, it's very sad. I miss it. No, I miss it, you guys. I miss it all. I can just, I know what it sounds like, the set and the table. I know where it was, and I just, because I was on set the day they carved the boys' initials into the And I ran in there and like, took pictures. So to have, it's very weird as an actor. You become like, the character takes a piece of your heart and lives there forever. So Mary is a part of me, like she was a real person that I knew. And also part of me, it's a little weird. But, so to have Mary's initials on there, it's like it's my initials on there, and it lives on forever, so. I don't know how I ended up about the initials, but there you go. Hi.
Hi. So obviously we had bits and pieces of Mary hunting in the show, but as a third party, it was not very, a lot of elaboration on it. And this can go any time in the timeline, before, during, or after the main supernatural timeline. But if you could have a spin-off about Mary, what kind of storylines would you want to see?
I like this question. I mean, Mary's come back to life before. I thought, I feel like it was, if Wayward Sisters had gone, which I still can't believe, but I think that Mary would have been a natural addition, ultimately, to that, because it's women hunting, like, oh. I don't think Mary needed her own show. She wouldn't have said no. But I think that would have been so similar in feel to whatever my understanding of Wayward Sisters was going to be. Except, I think Wayward Sisters was primarily about the 4 younger girls, and obviously that would not have been the case with me. And I mean, I would have loved to have Jodie and Mary, or Mary and Jack before she exploded her, something like that. So yeah, I mean, she would have had to have been hunting, right?
I think so.
Breaking hearts across America.
I was thinking about younger Mary, like trying to hide it from John, like fighting a vampire, like shoving the corpse into the closet.
Oh my God, right? No, there's nothing buried in the basement. No. Why would she say that? Although they never brought the bodies home. Do you ever wonder, what did they do with all the bodies? They just left them there? Like, why is that guy melting? Like, the police would come and be like, are those fangs? Why is his head not attached to his body? Like, they just left carnage everywhere. Or they cleaned them up and nobody showed that. What happened?
Good question.
Right?
Good question, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I would like you all to think about that and come back to me with an answer.
Everybody
Yes.
here.
Yes.
All right, Sam, you're sticking around. You'll be here today and tomorrow?
And a little bit of Sunday.
And a little bit of Sunday. Sam Smith, everybody! I didn't know the words that I just said. What you say over and over again. What you say? What you say? Good times. Okay. Well, next we have a game, and there are just 2 answers to this game: yes or no. Yes, no. Yes, no. Yes, no. Yes, no. Not much of a Shake some hands, everybody.
So, we've had a little bit of practice with this. We've done this twice now.
You know what it is now.
I get it. I'm on.
Good.
I remember you were saying backstage